Hey everyone, it's Jacqueline for Pixie Dust PhD. This video will be a quick update showing you the procedures of ordering your Magic Band if you're an on-site guest these days, and then also we'll jump to the future to show you our Magic Band unboxing. I'm so excited to show you what Adam and I picked, the process of getting that online, and then actually receiving it in person. Yay! Stay tuned! Not too long ago, Magic Bands were actually free. They were complimentary for on-site guests. Those days are now over though. If you do have an on-site reservation, you can get a Magic Band at a slight discount, which is nice. But you don't actually 100% need a Magic Band if you don't want. Magic Bands and Key to the World cards, which you can pick up at the front desk for free, have the exact same functionality. You can unlock your resort room, you can gain entry into the theme park, you can link your PhotoPass pictures, and you can charge purchases back to your room. Disney has now also debuted Magic Mobile, which you can set up on your My Disney Experience app. With Magic Mobile, you can use that to gain entrance into theme parks, and you can also link your PhotoPass pictures. At this time, you cannot charge purchases back to your room, but hopefully that is coming soon. And then through the general My Disney Experience app, although I don't think it's quite yet integrated into Magic Mobile, you can unlock your resort room. Really, all you're missing is the ability to charge purchases back to your room via your phone. My partner and I do like Magic Bands, though. It's very convenient to just have on your wrist or a lanyard or a keychain that's easily accessible. Arguably, cell phones are this way too, but for me in particular, I have a frustratingly large amount of outfits that don't have pockets, so my phone is often tucked away in my bag and not as easy to get out as a Magic Band would be. The other thing about relying on your cell phone is I personally am pretty paranoid and get quite nervous that my phone will die, or the app will glitch, or my phone will glitch, or something terrible will happen and I'll be locked out of all of that information and access. Basically, with technology, I generally prefer to have some sort of analog backup. So if I were going to rely primarily on my phone, I probably personally would still go and get that Key to the World card from the front desk just in case. And with PhotoPass in particular, I do like having a fresh Magic Band. My partner and I both still have our Magic Bands from 2015 and 2017. We did not get new Magic Bands in 2019. From that trip, I can confirm that the long-range RFID on our prior Magic Bands is dead. It was dead in 2019, so it's definitely dead in 2021. Again, you can use your phone to get those long-range PhotoPass pictures, and for this, we're mostly talking about on-ride photos. But for me, personally, I often have the Bluetooth feature on my phone off, so then I would need to remember constantly to be toggling it and checking to make sure that it was on in order to get our pictures. Overall, I'm a very particular person, and it's easy to argue I am a bit fussy. If you've been around the channel for a while, you already know this about me. Obviously, when Magic Bands were free, that was a no-brainer for us. We definitely got our free Magic Bands. But even at a cost, my partner and I have decided that that cost is worth it for us. I think the convenience factor is just there, for me especially. Plus, we don't tend to buy a lot of souvenirs, and the Magic Bands are fun keepsakes from the trip. If you are staying on site and decide you do want a Magic Band, here's how you will put your order in advance. You can navigate to the Magic Band purchasing option one of two ways. First, from your My Plan screen, you can scroll down, and your hotel reservation should be highlighted. There will be a notice to the side with a link that will let you choose your Magic Band. Alternatively, from the My Disney Experience drop-down menu, you can navigate to My Magic Bands and Cards. Here, guests linked to an on-site reservation will appear, and the first line in this text reminds you that Magic Bands are no longer complimentary. Scrolling down a bit, next to your resort information, there will be a countdown of how many days you have left to put this order in. This opens up extremely early, and if you are sure you want a Magic Band, you can do it basically as early as you want. If you instead wait and put your order in between 6 to 10 days of arrival, your Magic Bands will actually be shipped to your resort, and you will pick them up there. Once you're within 5 days of arrival, you can no longer do this option, and if you want a Magic Band, I would suggest probably heading down to Disney Springs and grabbing one, or from a store in a theme park. If you have multiple on-site reservations, for example if you're doing a split stay like we are, then all of your reservations will show up with the option to purchase a Magic Band for each and every one of them. In my opinion, particularly since the bands aren't free anymore, I think one per person will suffice, but hey, if you want extra options to match all of your outfits, go ahead and take advantage of that. They are at a slight discount compared to what you would pay rack rate at Disney Springs or at a theme park location. But my partner and I definitely will only be ordering one each. To begin your order, click Get Started. Then, guests on that hotel reservation will show up and you will select whose band you are picking. We are starting with my partner, Adam. Here now, I've clicked Grid View so I can view all of the available Magic Bands at once. Note that the discounted selection for on-site guests is limited. They vary in price from $10 to $25 for the most part. There may be a few bands that will cost more than $25, but at least today there are none showing up for me. Your plain colored ones are going to be $10, and then the more elaborate ones with characters will range between $15, $20, $25. Also, while the selection is limited, do note that the selection changes somewhat randomly. For example, a few days ago there was a plain white Magic Band that has since disappeared and not come back. We also do now have 2 Riviera Resort bands, whereas before, when I had the white Magic Band, there was only 1 Riviera Resort band. If you see a magic band you really like, you may want to put in your order as soon as possible because there's no guarantee it will still be available for selection the next day. Honestly, I've not been able to figure out any rhyme, reason, or pattern to the changing selection. If you have any knowledge of that, please let me know in the comments down below. Adam decided on this $15 Monsters Inc. magic band, so we went ahead and selected that. Once you've made your selection, you can customize it with an engraving up to 9 characters. For Adam, we are just doing their name, Adam. Then click Complete. Once you're done with that selection, it will take you back to the other hotel guests. I'm the only one left, so we'll go forth with my pick. Interestingly, I did notice for the first time that in this default view, if you hover over certain magic bands, you'll actually be able to see the backside. Not for all of them, though. So here's what some of the backsides look like of the various magic bands that were available to me on this day. Weirdly, this ability to view the graphics on the other side of the band doesn't happen on grid view even when you're hovering over them. I don't know why this is true, but just a heads up for you, if you are interested in both sides of your band, consider using the default view. Of course, the magic bands Adam and I are most interested in do not have this alternate view of the backside even in default view, so we're taking a little leap of faith here. The full magic band design will be a surprise when they show up, but maybe that's part of the fun. I chose this Buzz and Woody magic band. This is another $15 selection. Unfortunately, my name is actually 10 characters long, so it won't fit in this 9-character engraving. Rather than my name, I'll do the month and the year. I know some folks who travel down frequently and like to do their resort abbreviation along with the year. So rather than the month, like I'm doing September, you could do BLT for Bay Lake Tower. Once I complete my selection, the entire party is now completed. Tigger pops up and invites us to check out. At this checkout screen, you can verify the bands that you selected as well as the price. You'll note that the total of the price is the price of the bands combined plus tax. Shipping is free. You can also verify or edit your address. I did recently move, so I needed to update mine because I hadn't yet updated it in my My Disney Experience account. Similarly, you can use the credit card linked to your account, or you can go ahead and use a different credit card. My account credit card is my everyday American Express, but I decided I wanted to put this on my Disney Visa Rewards credit card, so I went ahead and changed this information as well. At the bottom, you'll notice that there are terms and conditions you need to agree to. These stipulate that your magic bands are non-exchangeable and non-refundable. This is a final purchase. Then for all online shopping, I always triple check my order right at the very end. Now I'm verifying that the magic bands are correct, the price is what it should be, and the address that it's shipping to is where I do live. Then finally, purchase your order. After the load screen, Mike Wazowski congratulates you on your order and lets you know that they should ship within 5 to 7 business days. Once the magic bands ship, I will also get an email confirmation. If you scroll down on this page, you can again verify your magic band selection and the cost, and then you can easily navigate back to your plans page in My Disney Experience, or of course there's this banner ad for Shop Disney in case you want to keep buying merchandise. Back at my plans now, on the main page, if we scroll down for that first hotel reservation I have, you can see to the right of the information it says that my magic band order is now being fulfilled. Hooray! And if we navigate back to that My Magic Bands and Cards page, you can now scroll down and see that it confirms that we've made a selection. We can no longer go and try to order magic bands through this reservation. Of course, again with a split stay, if we want to keep ordering magic bands, the other reservations are still able to, but at least this first one is done and taken care of. Very shortly after I placed the order, I did receive an email confirmation letting me know that the order went through and they are working on it. Here, the email notes that the estimated delivery time to ship to your home is about 10 days prior to your vacation. And finally, if you give the server a little bit of time to update and check back later, back in your My Magic Bands and Cards page, you can now scroll down and see the exact magic bands you ordered instead of some generic text that they're working on your order. Every step of the way, there's plenty of chances to confirm the magic bands you ordered. Magic bands aren't absolutely necessary and you certainly don't need them. But personally, I think they're convenient and fun, so it's great to have this step of ordering my magic bands done and completed.
2 weeks later.
Just got my box with magic bands! So excited! I just finished working out and showered and got the text that I had a package, so I know I look gross and we're in gross elevator lighting, but it's here! Okay, made it back upstairs to the apartment and let's do the unboxing. And my dog is here, as you can see if you hear her making any little weird noises. She didn't want to be left alone. They look plain at first, but I promise that they aren't, so that's good. Let your vacation fun begin. Magic band! Yay! So we have 2 magic bands. This one's mine. This one's Adam's. You can tell by the little name thing. Mine just has the date as we talked about because my name's too long. And the fronts look plain, but then look. They're so cute. Oh my gosh. Okay, let's take mine off. Get a good, so it's this light blue, and then it says The backside, which we couldn't see, says To Infinity and Beyond with the little clouds. Oh my gosh. And then this is the preview we were able to see online with Woody and Buzz. Very nice. Very excited about that one. And then my partners, the part we could see online, of course, has Mike and Sully. That's fantastic. And then the other side has a Scream or Laugh canister. I guess I'm not really sure officially which one it is anymore. So that's so great. Let's see. It says max Scream capacity, 84,000 SUV. I'm not sure what SUV stands for. But so yeah, it's a Scream canister, not a Laugh canister. So yes, my partner's Magic Band and my Magic Band. I'm so excited. The box also comes with this Magic Band information pamphlet. I don't think it's anything you couldn't find out online. It's telling you about the radio frequency technology, which we have talked about previously. It tells you once you've linked to My Disney Experience, here are all the things that you can do. Here's a cute ad to buy Memory Maker. And then of course, you know, your generic Shop Disney ad. Of course, they want you to go buy more things. And the back of the little holder comes with some instructions about wearing the Magic Band, particularly for folks with smaller wrists. This is really important for kids. But even I have fairly small wrists, and I've thought about taking my other Magic Bands, the gray part, off. Actually, let's try it on and see how that goes. So yeah, you can see there's quite a lot of overlap for me. Oh, I am fully actually in the colored part, like by quite a lot. For reference, I ordered these midday on a Saturday, just a little bit before noon, and then they arrived 2 Fridays later, so almost 2 full weeks later. I do think there was a hiccup with shipping because they went from Florida to Georgia, which is fine, Georgia to Pennsylvania, which is a little bit overshot of where I live in the DC area, but honestly, I mean, maybe there's a huge shipping facility there, so that's fine. And then from Pennsylvania, it went to Maryland, then to DC, which was great, but then it went back to Pennsylvania. Like, I think it got put on the wrong truck or something. So I think we were probably delayed a few days because then it sat in Pennsylvania for a while before it left and arrived to me. But in case you are curious about timing, just 1 day short of 2 full weeks is how long it took to arrive to me. Again, I live in the DC metro area. These are our first character Magic Bands, or more premium Magic Bands. We just have the plain ones from before when those were complimentary, but we figured if the plain ones were going to be $10, why not spend $15 on the character ones? And honestly, I'm really glad we did. They are so cute. I do wish you could see the other side of the Magic Band on the preview online, but hey, it was a fun surprise to see what they ended up being. I am so thrilled that our Magic Bands arrived on time. We actually still have a full week before we leave, so plenty of time to spare. We do still need to purchase Memory Maker, but other than that, everything surrounding tickets and whatnot is totally set for our vacation. If you found this video helpful, please hit that thumbs up button to like the video and subscribe to the channel. You can ring the bell icon to receive a notification whenever I post new videos. Planning a trip to Walt Disney World can be fairly overwhelming, so it's really nice that this step is actually pretty straightforward. If you are a warrior type like me though, I hope this behind the scenes process of ordering Magic Bands has been useful. If you have questions about Magic Bands or really anything pertaining to Walt Disney World, definitely leave those in the comments down below. And I'd love to hear your opinions. With the debut of Magic Mobile, do you still find value in Magic Bands? Do you still purchase a Magic Band even though they're not free anymore, or do you think that's a waste of money? I am probably just stuck in my old ways here, but personally I anticipate using a Magic Band for as long as they let me. And if you want to chat outside of YouTube, we can always talk about all things Magic Bands and Disney over on Twitter and Instagram, where you will find me at PixieDustPhD. Ordering Magic Bands and receiving them basically means my trip is right around the corner. I am so excited, and I hope that the rest of your day is equally thrilling. We'll see you real soon at PixieDustPhD.